I'd like to go ahead and reconvene this meeting. Mr. Rizzi?
We'd like to start the meeting out with the saxophone quartet from Sequin High School, and they're going to start the meeting out. Thank you. They're here tonight because Mr. Middleton, the band director at Sequin High School, is going to introduce the all-state and all-district band members. And Mr. Middleton also asked if he could have 2 more minutes to practice and it'd be worth the wait, and it definitely was. Mr. Ben Middleton.
There you go. We wanted to recognize the Sequin High School students who were selected to the East Central #7 All-District Band, Jazz Band, and as well as the All-State students. The East Central District is made up of the 5 counties touching Jefferson, not named St. Louis. So it's a pretty big area. It's 20-something high schools. And if these students are here tonight, if they would stand up and come up to the front and be recognized, please. Carrie Reed on flute and piccolo. This is Carrie's 4th year selection on flute. Shelby Blumenthal on flute. From Seckman Middle School, 8th grade, Milana Gert. Savannah Schrum on clarinet. Kaylin Oberlander on clarinet. Sarah Dempsey on clarinet. Ashley Shelton, bass clarinet alternate. Olivia Brocker, alto saxophone, principal chair. Kendall Blumenthal from Seckman Middle School, 8th grade on alto saxophone. Taylor Walker, alto saxophone alternate. Tori Glenn, principal chair, tenor saxophone. Becky Porter on tenor saxophone. Philip Gert on trumpet. Michaela Franzak on trumpet. Nathan Lee on trumpet. And Clayton Port on tuba. In addition to these students making the concert band, we did have several students make the East Central All-District Jazz Band. Tori Glenn on tenor saxophone, Philip Gert on trumpet, Michaela Franzak on trumpet, Nathan Lee on trumpet alternate, Tyler Voss on guitar alternate, and Hannah Huskin on drums. As soon as Tyler gets up here, you guys can be seated. All right. Hey, Tyler, everybody. All right. We did have 3 students selected to the All-State Band, and All-State Band auditions take place the first Saturday of December, and it's basically about 1,300 students in one school building all day doing all-day auditions. So we did have 3 students selected. I'll call them up here and tell you just a little bit about them because this is a major accomplishment. Philip Gert, if he'll come back up. Philip was selected this year to 3rd chair, All-State Orchestra. His score was high enough that he got to choose whether he wanted to play in the All-State Band or All-State Orchestra. Phil is a junior at Seckman High School and has been playing trumpet since 5th grade, where he began his studies with Mr. Keith Jean. Prior to this, Philip had already established a performing background, having performed in front of thousands of people at such venues as the Two Hill, Powell Symphony Hall, the Dick Clark Theater, and the Mozarteum, to include performances with the international barbershop champions, the Ambassadors of Harmony. He was selected as an alternate to All-State last year and has received numerous high ratings as a soloist at district and state festivals. Philip currently studies with Ilya Litvin and was selected this year into the St. Louis Symphony Youth Orchestra that performs at Powell Symphony Hall. He is the fourth Seckman student to be selected to the St. Louis Youth Symphony and is the fourth Seckman trumpet to receive All-State honors. He will perform with the All-State Orchestra at the Missouri Music Educators Conference at Tantera, Lake of the Ozarks, later this month. Philip Gert. One student, Olivia Brocker, on alto saxophone could not be here tonight. That's why I'm playing. She is auditioning at Drake University today. So she said, hey, I can't make it. I got a college audition. But Olivia was selected as second alternate alto saxophone to the All-State Band. She's a senior at Seckman High School and has been playing the saxophone since the 4th grade. From the very beginning, Olivia's goal was simple: to be the best. She began studying privately from day one and has reached a very high level of playing. She has been selected to All-District Band on multiple occasions. She was the principal chair this year. All-District Jazz Band, and was recently selected as second alternate to All-State Band, placing her in the top 7 alto saxophone players in the state. Olivia has received the highest marks at district and state festivals each year, performing as a soloist and as a member of the Saxissimo Saxophone Quartet, which you heard tonight. And they will once again be performing at the opening ceremonies for the Misha State Wrestling Championships. So we'll drive to Columbia to play the national anthem and drive right back. It's a good gig. Olivia is the 4th Seckman saxophonist to be selected to All-State honors. She is looking at attending either Drake University in Iowa or Missouri State University, where she will play saxophone and work on becoming an FBI agent. So that's kind of a cool thing there. And then Nathan Lee, I saw him here. Nathan Lee was selected to All-State Band as honorable mention trumpet, which puts him in the top 25 trumpets in the state for this year. He is a freshman at Seckman High School and has been playing trumpet since 6th grade. His motivation is uncanny for such a young player, and his passion for musical excellence shows inside the classroom and out. Nathan studies with Robert Souza and currently participates in marching band, jazz band, symphonic band, and basketball band at Seckman. His selection at All-State honors this year makes him the youngest Seckman band student to receive such honors. Nathan Lee. Thank you very much for your support and for having us here tonight. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Could all the parents of these students stand to be recognized, please? Mr. Middleton, we also want to thank you for all your time and dedication to your students. We really appreciate it. And congratulations to all you students, and thank you for making our district proud and bringing honor and pride to our school district.
All right, we'll go backwards here a little bit and go back to introductions. If we could start with you, Mr. Brazil.
John Brazil, CFO.
Lorenzo Rizzi, Assistant Superintendent.
Dan Krupa, Board Member.
Dawn Mullins, Board Member.
Debbie Davis, Board Secretary.
Vern Sullivan, Board Member. Steve Holloway, Board Member.
Dave Palmer, Vice President. Tim Crutchley, Acting Superintendent.
And I'm John Laughlin, Board President. No recognition. 2.3 letters. I think we had one thank you letter. Is that correct? Okay. 2.4 public comments. Mr. Rizzi.
We have 2 public comments tonight. Before they come up, just want to remind them that they have 3 minutes. We start with Mr. James Osha.
First, I'd like to congratulate all you students that are in the band and the orchestra and everything. It's good to see kids taking interest, especially in those kind of instruments. They're, you know, not the piano or the singing or whatever, but it's good to see you guys do that. So congratulations and good luck. Alrighty. I thought from the meeting before the holiday break that we would enter 2015 on an up note. Unfortunately, I've been shown different. I realize that the decisions that this board and even the administrators have to make aren't always easy, but in light of the events that have been brought to the public, it feels as if it doesn't matter. I also realize not everything that is known that this board as a whole made these decisions. However, it does have the opportunity to correct these wrongs. I feel that this panel is operating scared and to not lose, instead of playing to win and truly making the tough but appropriate decisions. I also include in this the legal advice given to this board. Remember, the board doesn't work for the administrators, central office is what I mean by that, nor the administrators for the board, but actually for us residents, taxpayers, parents, and the students. I include the students in that statement because ultimately that is how we will measure the return on our investment. I applaud and thank each and every school in the district for pushing on through what has been brought to light and continuing to show that the principals, the assistant principals, and teachers, and all the support staff truly want to show we are a district of national character. Bus drivers, custodians, and anyone else, you are included in this too. In April, we have the opportunity to start to change those that sit in the seats up there. I think for too long that this organized board has taken advantage of those seats over the years, which some of you have been there for a while. This isn't a twice-a-month commitment, but an everyday commitment, paid or voluntary. Yes, we can send you emails, or we can start blogs or Facebook pages to voice our concerns, or even positive feedback, but these regular meetings are where the public can get their voices heard and now recorded, with the hopes of being truly heard. In most instances, it is understood overnight action isn't always possible, but there have been some decisions recently that have been made or not made that frustrate us. Why paid leave, early retirement, or switching positions when being terminated is the correct action. We shouldn't have to worry how our children will receive a top-notch education because money and time has been misspent, misused, or abused. Our energy should be put towards their education and enrichment, and to those that want to gain despite this, then they need to either walk away or be terminated without additional compensation. Thank you.
Is that the only one?
Mr. Rich Simpson?
Hello, thank you for hearing me this evening. Congratulations to all of the band members that have earned All-State. That's very excellent. I was in band in high school for several years, so congratulations to all of you. One of the things I'd like to ask for or suggest would be one of the things last month I talked about on the board agenda being posted online and where it's posted. I know our policies right now say that it has to be posted up on the notice board, but I think today's world everybody expects it to be online, so if we could have that as the main focus point of getting the board agendas posted, so people don't have to drive to the central office and try and look through the window, I guess, to try and read it if nobody's in the office at the time. The other thing that I've asked for and trying to get for several years, been working with trying to get the information for the legal fee invoices. Still working on that. I know recently I had some information, didn't have all of the facts, so I incorrectly matched a couple things together, but if I had all the facts, it would make it a lot easier to provide that information for the community. And I think that's important that everybody knows where we're spending our money and how much money is being spent on that, because the amount of money that we spent in 2012 was like $103,000 for two board meetings and legal fees, which seemed to be a little bit excessive compared to a normal monthly fee. So the other thing I wanted to mention was it's been 2 years since I spoke here at the board meeting, and there were comments that were made online before and after that meeting directed at me that came from both school computers and from former and current admins, and you know, it's been a long 2 years. Glad to see there are things being changed, but I really look forward to having a more positive movement in the district and making sure that people are held accountable and that proper disciplinary action is rendered for the individuals that have been involved. So hopefully things will continue to change towards the positive. Look forward to seeing Dr. Whipke here as our new superintendent. And that's all. Thank you.
Hey, Rich, one thing, that the agenda is online. It's there. It's it's posted constantly, so on that one, I'm not even actually sure how to answer it. And on the attorney's fees, whatever you're looking for, if you're not getting what you want, it's 100% public, so send me an email to whatever you're missing, and we'll make sure it's available to you or to anybody else. I kind of thought that was 100% public anyway, so we'll get you covered on both. We'll get them to you. Yeah, you're welcome. Is that just two? Okay. 3.0, business items information. 3.1, dropout rate update. Dr. Rizzi.
I'm happy to announce our dropout rate is at 0.64. It's low for the last 3 years.
Excellent. 3.2, financial report. Mr. Brazil.
In your agenda, there are some financial documents. The first is a 6-month financial report for the current year, and we're proceeding along just fine, meeting our budgetary targets. The second document that there demonstrates that by comparing current year to prior year revenue and expenditures. You can see the spending cuts, the change in spending dollars is progressing nicely, as we have underspent the prior year by over $4.2 million in our operating funds. And finally, I mentioned last month when we were approving premiums for property and liability coverages that we were going to continue negotiating that. We did, and that ended up dropping about $19,000 and some change. So that came out to the positive. One final comment, our state audit is still in progress and will be for many weeks to come, so we continue working with that. End of report.
All right, thank you. 3.3, average daily attendance. Dr. Rizzi.
The average daily attendance up to year to date through December is 95.71 compared to last year at this time at 95.75, so we're about the same place we were last year at this time. We'd like to try to creep up to that 96, but we're happy that it's up that high still.
3.4, 2016-2017 tentative school calendar. Mr. Crutchley.
For information tonight, we have the 2016-2017 calendar that we've developed with the NEA. It has a start date of August 18th, a tentative last day of school of May 17th. It's really not very different from this year or next year. The calendars stay pretty consistent. Same number of days off. We have 170 school days. We have 4 full-day professional development days. So very similar to this year, next year. So that's for information. We'll ask for approval next month.
All right, thank you. 4.0, consent grouping for business items, action. 4.1.
The law requires the Board of Education to approve the ballot for April election, and you have that in front of you for approval.
Do I have a motion?
I'll second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. 4.2, Mr. Rizzi. Dr. Rizzi, I'm sorry.
Each year, the district completes evaluations of all programs. These evaluations include review of goals, analysis of data, and action plans for the upcoming year. These programs that we presented to you for information last meeting was for food service, transportation, facilities management, health services, homeless migration, education, technology, and safety and security. The state requires, in order to be in compliance with MSEP, that the board approves the district programs, and we ask that you approve.
Do I have a motion? I'll make a motion. Mr. Sullivan, do I have a second?
Second.
Steve? Questions or comments? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. 4.3, Dr. Rizzi.
Last month, we presented to you a memorandum of understanding from both the Sheriff's Department of Jefferson County and Arnold Police Department that they're wanting to assist us with proactive approach in drug searches in our buildings, and we ask that you approve these memorandums.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. 4.4, Mr. Crutchley.
Yeah, for approval, the curriculum for middle school character education and leadership class that was presented last month, and we ask for your approval of that curriculum.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Questions? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. 4.5, Mr. Crutchley.
Have two gifts to the district, very generous gifts to the district that we ask that you approve.
Do I have a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion.
A second?
Second.
Questions or comments? I'm sorry, go ahead, Dave.
Go ahead, Dave. I was just going to tell them thank you. I mean, the kids really need it. I know over at Merrimack it'll really be appreciated, so thank you very much.
That's what I was going to say too. $8,000. That's incredible. That's really great. So thanks.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. 4.6, Dr. Rizzi.
Last month, Ms. Kristen Pelser, Executive Director for Curriculum, had made a proposal that we purchase a build-your-own curriculum system to help the district in a swift manner align ourselves with Missouri Learning Standards, which will be coming up next school year. We asked, and this was presented for you information last month, we ask that you approve.
Do I have a motion?
motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Sullivan. Questions or comments?
Are we approving 1 year right now? Okay.
All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. 4.7, Dr. Rizzi.
The Fox High School Choir is requesting permission to compete in Atlanta, Georgia in March in a trip paid by and fundraised by the choir members. We ask that you approve this trip.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Questions or comments? All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
4.8, Mr. Brazil.
Building Blocks is our preschool program. Enrollment for that program for this fall actually begins very soon. A review of the tuition rates for that program indicates that we need to increase some of the rates slightly. So for the 2015 new enrollees, the rates would be basically $30 per day for that enrollment. 2 days a week, 60, 3 days, 90, 4 days, 120, 5 days, 150. So we're asking you to approve those so that we can begin the enrollment process.
Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Questions or comments?
Krupa and Holloway.
Yes, Krupa Holloway got the second.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That seems very, very reasonable and a very small increase. So I'm glad we can do it for that price.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. 4.9, Mr. Brazil.
We have a delivery vehicle within our food service program that is currently out of service. It's an older vehicle, and the repairs to it would exceed its value, basically. We also have a need for that department to have refrigerated transfer service of our frozen goods. So we're asking your permission to seek bids for a new vehicle, and we propose trading in a Ford Expedition that used to be assigned to the superintendent. I'd like to get rid of that vehicle.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Sullivan, questions or comments? Yes, sir.
You'll act on this again when we bring the bids back to you.
Okay. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. 5.0, consent grouping for action business. 5.1, consent grouping for action, or Mr. Brazil, 5.1A.
The payment of the bills is in front of you. They are in two parts. One part for what has no conflicts on the board, and the second part there is a conflict for Mr. Krupa.
Do I have a, part one, do I have a motion?
Which one are we voting on first?
Part one,
Part one.
That's the big one.
the big one.
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Second, Mr. Palmer? Yes. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? Motion carries. Part two, can I get a motion for part two?
Make a motion?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Yes.
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 Opposed?
Abstain. The school district bought some flowers from my sister-in-law.
Motion carries. 6.0, consent grouping. 6.1, staff separations. Mr. Crutchley.
Ask that you approve the staff separations as presented.
Revised and late materials.
Revised in late materials. I did not have that.
Yes, sir. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Mr. Sullivan? Questions or comments?
Wait a minute, I haven't found it yet.
All right.
The last.
Very last page of the late materials.
Very last.
5.
Questions or comments?
No.
Roll call.
Mr. Krupa?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Mr. Holloway?
Yes.
Mr. Mrs. Mullins?
Yes.
Mr.
Yes.
Sullivan? And Mr. Law?
Yes. Six point two, Mr. Crutchley.
Ask that you approve employment of certified staff, classified staff, and substitute staff as presented, please.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
Questions or comments? Yeah, that was Mr. Palmer.
Mr. Krupa?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Mr. Holloway?
Yes.
Mrs. Mullins?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
And Mr. Law?
Yes. 7.1, superintendent report.
I just have one item. January is Board Appreciation Month, and I just wanted to recognize the Board of Education for what you guys do. It's a tough job. It's a volunteer job. You don't get paid. You spend a lot of hours, especially lately, taking care of the school district so that our kids in this district can achieve to their highest possible levels, and you spend a lot of time supporting us in the administration, supporting the teachers, and I just wanted to say that I greatly appreciate the service that you guys have provided to this community, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim. Board reports, start with you, Mr. Brazil.
No report.
I just want to ditto what Mr. Crutchley said, and the endless hours you put in, you can't count them, and I appreciate all the time and effort you put in to support the students and all of us.
My turn?
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's on. We just voted to add substitute teachers, and I had a question that I forgot to ask. How are we doing with do we have enough substitute teachers? I mean, do we have a problem staffing?
Well, that's kind of a loaded question, because
I know.
having enough substitute teachers is kind of dependent on how many of them want to work any given day, how many teachers are going to be out. And so it's a moving target. So if we have 100 teachers out, I think we're pushing 300 plus substitute teachers right now. If we have 100 teachers out and 250 of them are taking Friday off because they have Christmas shopping to do or something like that, then we don't have enough. The days that most of them want to work, we have enough. So when I say it's hard to answer, it really is, because there's not a number that you can ever say is enough or too many. It's a moving target, and what we have right now seems to be working most days. There are some days that we're short. We get that covered. We're not short by many, but we may be short 2 or 3 subs. We make it work, and actually it's the teachers who in the buildings that make it work, and we appreciate that, because the teachers cover other classrooms on their conference periods, on their breaks. Our goal is to cover every teacher spot that's out every time that to have a substitute in that spot. And whether it's a teacher, an aide, whatever it is, that's our goal, to always have that covered, and that's what we're working towards. And as you can tell, Monica Montgomery, who's our sub-coordinator, is getting more people hired and trying to make sure that we have enough.
Cool, thank you. I just wanted to say that 3 months ago, it was really difficult being on the school board. I don't feel that way now. I feel a little bit of peace. I can feel that we're making progress. We're moving in the right direction. Dr. Whipke is a breath of fresh air. He's been spending a lot of time taking vacation days from Rockwood and coming over here and meeting people and talking to people and talking to the staff. And it's just a breath of fresh air to deal with the man. He's everything I think the school board wanted to hire when we hired him, and I can't wait until he starts, because it's going to get nothing but better. And I'm finished.
I'm just going to, real quick, butt in line, because I already had my turn, but I'm going to take, I agree with what Mr. Krupa said about Dr. Whipke. He's been in our office meeting with us. He's been on the phone. He's been on email. And I think Dr. Rizzi will shake his head on this one. It is a breath of fresh air to have somebody to deal with that we can count on, that we can trust, that we can move the district forward with. It's very nice.
Ms. Mullins?
No report.
Mr. Sullivan?
I just think it was great that the people from Seckman came and did the Star Spangled Banner, and all the young men and women that have worked so hard to win those honors. It's really refreshing to see these kinds of awards come at us again, instead of all the negative that was coming towards Fox School. You folks are really a breath of fresh air. Thank you.
I don't have anything to report.
No report, thank you.
No. No report from me either tonight, so thanks. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second. I second.
I thought you were teasing there first.
Do you think Mr. Krupa was trying to...
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.